played was with his son Charlie. His life is all together now. He talked about coming back, and maybe not for the Masters, but he's coming back from his latest back surgery. Everything seemed to be on course for him. It's just so sad that the injuries. You just pray that the injuries don't keep him from golfing. You just pray that he can fully recover from this. Again, this just keeps happening, and it's just my heart's in my throat.
Sarah Spain.
Yeah, it's sort of shocking to see when it's Tiger Woods. If you tried to imagine the tragedies and triumphs, the hills and valleys of this person's life, you would think it was fake if it was a movie. It's happened so much. And so when it happens again, first thought is, of course, to his health and his family, and then to golf and everything that comes after. And I would offer up that we very often retroactively apply our humanity to these situations far beyond and past the time when we should have considered them at first. We often say after the fact that we should have handled things differently. Well, let's try this time to recognize that just because we have the access to photos and potential sources immediately doesn't mean that speculation or sharing serves any purpose other than to ignore the very real people who are going through this. And so let's wait and get real information and hope for the best in the meantime.
Monica.
I mean, well said to both of you guys. I thought kind of immediately, of course, I hope that Tiger is well. And then I thought about Ben Hogan, who won the U.S. Open in 1950 after being hit by a bus, and how Tiger admired him. I think the news from his agent that the surgery is focused on his legs may have a bit of encouragement. And, of course, the most important thing is that Tiger is okay in all of this. But I just think of that triumphant spirit that Sarah referenced, and I hope that we get positive news as we move forward, but it certainly is shaking.
And Frank.
You know, it's amazing. Dwayne Wade was on the golf course yesterday with Tiger serving as his instructor, and Dwayne Wade posted a video right around the time that Tiger was getting in this accident. You see those images, they're horrible. And to Sarah's point, here's a guy that's had so many peaks and valleys. Some of this stuff has been self-inflicted. You just hope for the best. Here's a guy that's got 2 kids. It's just an incredibly scary situation.
Thanks for your thoughts on that, guys. Sarah, especially. Sometimes it's okay to be quiet. Sometimes it's okay to take in the news, give your best thoughts and prayers, because I know sometimes people don't like thoughts and prayers. Sometimes it's okay. Thoughts and prayers are good. And you just wait for the news to come. And you hope Tiger Woods has the life that he wants in front of him. The latest will be Sunday. The Clippers sat Paul George the last 2 minutes of the game versus Brooklyn, a game they could have won, and people were like, hey, what's with the minutes restriction? Yesterday, LeBron toiling in an overtime loss to Washington. People were like, how about a minutes restriction? LeBron's not buying that. Story arc is the word I would use there. I'm muting LeBron James. Yes, I am. Lakers 1-4 since Anthony Davis went out. Today, they waived Quinn Cook. Houston's waiving DeMarcus Cousins, by the way. Maybe the Lakers can get in on that. Bill Plaschke, state of the Lakers, I say. Bracing for impact here, just asking that question to you. But state of the Lakers?
Tony, I've seen this movie before in 2013. Kobe Bryant, 7 straight games, averaged 46 minutes a game, and in that 7th game his Achilles popped. And he was 2 years younger than LeBron is now. LeBron played 40-plus minutes in 4 of the last 9 games. It's too much. Sit him down, rest him, give him a break. They don't need the seeding because there's no home court advantage in the playoffs. You're going to make the playoffs. LeBron averaged the most minutes in the NBA in February. The last time he's averaged the most minutes in the NBA in a month was 2006 when he was 21 years old. This is too much for him. And
is that true?
For his own sake, for his own good, sit him down.
Sarah Spain.
Yeah, I would say maybe Kobe, but for the most part, the false equivalencies in relating LeBron James' rest to someone like Paul George or really anyone else doesn't matter because his age, the amount that he's played, but also the amount that he invests in his body. Normally, I would say we do have to make sure we protect players from themselves and their own ambition and desire to play. But in LeBron's case, not only has he invested more in his body than anyone else, he knows better than anyone else. If he wants to reach the milestones he wants to get to before retirement, then he needs to take care. So if he's feeling it in any way, he's going to be the one to step back. I trust him to make that decision. If he doesn't need to now because Schroeder's out and AD's out and they're playing overtime games and that's starting to add up right now, I think he probably has an idea that going forward they'll be able to pull him back when he's not as needed and he'll be able to even it all out.
Monica?
I I agree with Sarah 100% on this one. I mean, this is not new. LeBron's been playing these minutes all season. The issue now is that AD and Schroeder are out. But I also would say of anybody, LeBron has the cachet to say how long he can stay on the floor. If you want to indulge me on the macro argument, really big picture here, I know we had the short turnaround this summer, but the last 2 seasons, he played 55 and 67 games. So some kind of way, maybe it's not as taxing as we think that we got to this point.
Frank Isola?
Who knew that Bill Plaschke was the LA chief of the minutes police? Come on, Bill. Just because it happened to one guy doesn't mean it's happening to another guy. John Stockton and Karl Malone played forever, and they were fine. Here's the thing about LeBron. Number one, he has been involved in load management. Look back when he was on Cleveland, went to Miami, missed some games, was sipping tea on the bench against the Clippers. But here's what he should do. He should miss the All-Star game. He thought he was going to get a week off. He's upset that now the NBA is going to play it. Bill, that's when he should take time off. He should miss the All-Star.
Back in.
Get a week of rest.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Frank. Stockton, Malone played forever. However, they never played and won a championship.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. LeBron is shooting. He's shooting in the last 10 games. He's shooting 25% from 3. That's more than 10% less than his regular season average. He's running out of gas. He needs to recognize that. People here in LA don't care about the MVP. They don't care about the regular season. It's all about June and July this year. Play for that. Play the long game, LeBron. Play the long game.
So nobody thinks Plaschke's stat that it was the most minutes in a month he's played, or at least led the league since he was 21, and that's not a big deal.
Overtime
Wild.
games.
No,
wild.
There was a record amount of overtimes. And as Sarah pointed out to me last week on another show, we've seen some of these old guys, Tom Brady, continue to prove us wrong. If anybody has the cachet to stay on the floor, it's
Wait, did you just take a point Sarah gave to you on another show and tried to use it on this show, Monica? What is that about? Oh, no. Oh, the rookie bonus is going the wrong way. Last word, Frank Isola.
Well, Bill is right about one thing. This is about LeBron and the MVP. He didn't want to talk about performance last night because he missed a late free throw. He took a bad three-pointer at the end of the game. He wanted the focus to be on how many minutes he's been playing, which is a lot, but he'll be fine.
Isola, you are a sledgehammer.
He can handle it.
Frank's right.
Fire Cell 2, White Sox spring training. Tim Anderson showed up early and met with Tony La Russa. And here's what Anderson said. Definitely awesome. Very motivating. I'm behind him 100%. I'm looking over at this panel. Let me see. Sarah Spain, you're here. Oh, yeah. I believe when we last talked about La Russa and the White Sox and this particular relationship with Anderson, you had an opinion. Roll tape.
He is a noted anti-let-the-kids-have-fun manager. He is notedly anti-social statements, anti-peaceful protest, and I have zero idea why in this year you would take an exciting, young, thrilling team like the White Sox and pair them with the exact opposite in every possible way.
So you are a noted critic of this move, potentially, but please, buy or sell all being good here, Sarah, after their meeting.
I own everything I said. I don't believe there have been any bat flips or social justice statements or Black Lives Matters comments in the first couple days of spring training. I hope that this works out because it's more fun to be in Chicago and in the MLB when this young, exciting team full of stars succeeds. But I'm going to need to see a whole lot more than everybody showed up to camp in the best shape of their lives and they're excited that it's warm and they're getting back to the season. So we're all getting along right now. I'm going to need to see a lot more before I say that this makes sense.
Monica?
Well, I will say that the young and exciting person being me here, I've been paired with Cranky Frank, and I think we're managing to make it all work. So I like this juxtaposition.
Frank.
I think I will take it with a grain of salt, but I'll put a positive spin on my grain of salt. I've seen it in real life. Guys have a particular stance on an issue, and then they meet people that represent Black Lives Matter, fun and baseball, and they have a whole change of heart because you get to see that ultimately we have this game of baseball that we love in common. So I'm hoping something good sincerely comes out.
Frank Isola?
Well, Monica, you're young, you're exciting, and unlike the White Sox, you've actually won something. So to Sarah's point, he doesn't want Lekman to have fun. You win when Tony La Russa is the manager, and Tim Anderson is going to think, you know what? I have a great manager. He's going to help me get better, which means I'm going to get paid, and we're going to win, and then we'll all have fun.
Bill Plaschke.
Cranky Frank, that argument doesn't hold water. I've been in too many spring trainings. I've seen hundreds of these meetings before. They don't matter. Nothing that's said right now matters. They're playing golf. They're hanging out in the sun. They're messing around. It's not real life. Spring training is not real life. Let's wait till the game start. Let's wait till when Anderson starts to behave. It's not to behave. Starts
Calling
to
the guy a
act
liar?
like himself.
Anderson
like
is the
to
one who
act
said
like
I'm
himself,
100%
like
in right now.
joy.
Okay, yeah, I hear that. Frank, I do see LaRussa in you or vice versa. Can you put the hair over your ears? Can you give us one of those LaRussa looks that he had?
When I do that, come over with a scissor and cut it off, please. You have my permission.
Buy or sell 3,
Thank you,
4
Frank.
straight wins in a row consecutively for Duke. One of them is a quadrant win-win, but the other 3 still count. They're 11-8. Buy or sell this Duke team making the NCAA tournament now. And what changed, Frank Isola?
Oh, I'm buying all the way. Coach K has us right where he wants us. We want Duke in this tournament. We need Duke in this tournament. We need a villain. Put Duke in. They'll get in with a winning record.
Bill Plaschke?
Too many teams.
Nothing's changed. They were always getting in unless they had a losing record. Duke is just it's a television production. Don't forget that for 1 second. The NCAA tournament's about selling advertisements. Duke sells. Duke will be in.
Sarah Spain?
Yeah, this might be the easiest year to get a team in that doesn't belong because it's going to be such a mess anyway. And we can't have a tournament without Duke. Who will a nation collectively come together and hate if not for some young guy who trips people or is annoying us on Duke?
Okay, I think everyone has sidestepped what actually changed with this basketball team on the floor. Now I look at Monica McNutt, who's maybe best prepared to answer that question. Please, Monica.
All right, so Duke is going to get in, and yes, they are playing more cohesive ball, but I don't necessarily agree with Jim Boeheim that it's because Johnson isn't there. I just think it's that time of year, and we can't dismiss the magic of Coach K. There's still some talent on that roster. I will say that in a year where college basketball is missing a marquee guy, unless you're really digging deep and you love Cade Cunningham or Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga, Duke is the biggest name. And the only reason they're on the bubble right now, according to Joey Brackets, and not all the way in, is that so we do this.
Sarah Spain, you want to add something?
Yeah, I wanted to say something Monica said, not on a different show, but on a phone call, which was really smart, which is that the NCAA continues to try to compete with the G League. They need programs like Duke, even when they aren't excelling, to be on this big stage to continue to lure athletes to come.
Why am I hearing all this great stuff? Because that is a great point, Monica. But why am I hearing it second and third hand here and not maybe
Nobody on this show ever calls
It's an
me.
assist. You got it, Spain.
Nobody on this show ever calls
Synergy.
me. Why do they call each other? They don't call me.
Buy or sell 4. Number 11 for the Indianapolis Colts. Carson Wentz respectfully asked Michael Pittman Jr. for it. Michael Pittman Jr. respectfully declined. With all due respect, Monica, who has the right to number 11?
Michael Pittman Jr. What are we doing, people? Carson Wentz is not coming in as the heralded savior for this organization. Like, he doesn't have enough cachet. I keep digging in these articles waiting for him to say, yo, dude, what's the number? I'll pay you. Then we can talk. But Pittman wants to hold on to his number. It's his number. I'm all in on Pittman holding his number.
Frank Isola?
If you're Tom Brady, Joe Montana, you get the number. You're Carson Wentz. You just flamed out in Philadelphia. Come there, ingratiate yourself to the teammates and say, you know what? Number 11 is yours. I'll find a new number. What's wrong with
Bill Plaschke?
It's been Pittman's number for 1 year. He wore 6 in college at USC. It's been Wentz's number his whole career, college career. And geez, far be it from me to think a receiver should want to make a quarterback happy. Oh my goodness. Perish the thought that a receiver wants to make the guy throwing him the ball happy. Give him the uniform. Give him the number.
Sarah Spain?
No.
Yeah, I get wanting to keep your number, but you have a guy coming in where the questions are about his confidence, and you're going to start right off the bat with, I don't think you're good enough to deserve this number, even though whenever a quarterback wants the number, we give it up. That's just bad teamwork, and I think teamwork in the NFL is validated, even if it isn't here, when Monica and I are displaying it and losing points.
Monica, what was your number at Georgetown?
Sense of
Did you get the number you
was
wanted?
20.
It was 20, but was that what you wanted?
So, no, I was originally 15, but 15 wasn't available. When my teammate came in and got 15, I didn't ask for her to give it to me. Like, that's not how this works. Carson Wentz hasn't earned
But
it.
were you okay with that, or were you crestfallen that you didn't get your old number?
You're still mad about it.
I mean,
You're
I was
still mad about
a
it.
little bit blown, but like, that's
you
the way
were.
the cookie
And
crumbles.
Sarah, were you?
She's still
I'm
mad
sure you were
about it.
23-year-old.
23, baby.
23-year-old. And
23.
Bill, what number was your
yes, for number
typewriter?
33.
Frank Isola, what number was your leather jacket? Oh, okay.
My number
A
was
little bit of a
members only.
bonus for the ladies for actually having
That's
numbers
insensitive.
to go back to. It's not enough to get through, but it picks up your points per game average. Plaschke, Isola, showdown. 2 minutes.
Winners. Number 22.
Number was members only.
Jazz 132, Hornets 110 last night. Utah had a 26-2 run in this one. That's not a run. That's Usain Bolt looking at the camera, crossing the finish line. It came after Charlotte played with 6 men, didn't even know it. What is Utah doing that nobody has an answer for, Bill Plaschke?
They had a great bench last night. 19 three-pointers, an NBA record from the bench. Jordan Clarkson on that bench, shooting a career-high 46%, dropped 40 on the Sixers earlier this year. He's the secret weapon. He's the difference.
They already have 500 three-pointers. That's the fastest in NBA history. Tonight, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert will be named to the All-Star team. Gobert is a difference maker. He's a rim protector, as Bill Plaschke always likes to tell me, and we'll see that when the Lakers and the Jazz play on Wednesday night, right here on ESPN.
You're doing network promos now in the middle of Showdown, Frank?
What
is that? Point, Bill Plaschke. Move on.
Yes, give me credit for telling
Are
me
the Mavericks quietly gauging Kristaps Porzingis' trade value? Mavericks quietly gauging Kristaps Porzingis' trade value. That was Bleacher Report, Jake Fisher. But Mark Cuban told the Dallas Morning News, not accurate. Quote, not accurate, end quote. Frank, should the Mavs be shopping Porzingis, or do you believe Cuban here?
I believe that they will try to trade him perhaps after the season. It will not happen before March 24th. The whole idea of Luka and Porzingis, their chemistry hasn't been great. By the way, the Mavericks on tonight, different network.
Their chemistry hasn't been great. They've hardly played together. Porzingis went 31-10 in the bubble last year, Frank. Then he had knee surgery. He hasn't practiced. He didn't start practicing until the end of December. Didn't start playing until January. Give him time. Don't trade him. Give him time.
Plaschke opening up a lead in Showdown. Showdown 3, 14
Over
years.
Frankie Franks.
$340 million is finalized. Fernando Tatis Jr. says part of the reason he signed so long with San Diego was he wants a statue right next to Gwynn and Hoffman. Is statue talk allowed? Day one of the 5,114 the Padres and Tatis just signed up for, Bill?
It is allowed because he created a new word in the baseball lexicon, statue contract. That's what he said he wanted. I love that phrase. The Dodgers need to give one to Clayton Kershaw. Statue contract.
Tony, if Trevor Hoffman has one there, Scott Brosius should have one because that ball is still traveling. The one of Tatis should be of the majestic swing and that hair flowing. He looks great.
You and your damn Yankees.
Point, Bill Plaschke. But there's time for Showdown 4. Let's go.
No time.
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It was a tweet from J.J. Watt. What is J.J. Watt telling us? What does this portend this free agency, Bill?
I don't know. I've never had mitochondria before. I've tried to avoid it. I drink a lot of juices and exercise. So I've never had that thing, whatever he's talking about. So I don't know what it. I have no idea.
Frank Isola?
If you rearrange the letters, it comes out to monitor a shy D, Chicago defense. I don't need to be Sarah Spain going to Cornell to figure that one out.
What?
Look for J.J. Watt in Chicago.
He's lost his mind, Tony. Give me the
Monitor
showdown. It's over
a
with.
shy D, Chicago D.
That is brilliant. Frank Isola, I don't even know what you just did.
He's out of his
What an
mind,
incredible
Tony.
comeback. 30 seconds of FaceTime to Frank Isola. I'm calling the fight. My mind is blown. Well done, Frank.
Monitor a shy D. By the way, you knew this was going to happen. Fantasy sports was going to get somebody in trouble. Bill Plaschke plays it all the time. Just follow this one. There's a team in England, Aston Villa. Their star player is Jack Grealish. He wasn't going to play this weekend, except Leicester City didn't know about it. How did they find out? 3 players on Villa removed him from their fantasy team. The Leicester team said, you know what? He's not playing. He didn't play. They won the game. And now Villa told their players, like I'm telling Bill, stop playing fantasy sports. Just a few young kids, not for us adults.
An incredible
That's 30 seconds of my life. I'll
Showdown
never
and
have back
FaceTime.
again.
No, I love that. Although I think, didn't you pronounce it? It's
Mitochondria of the Midway.
Right? It's
Grealish, Jack Grealish.
reality. You see what I'm doing
The
here?
bar on this show has gotten so low. The bar on this show.
Well, let's raise it right now.
How come I
Veronica
when it gets
McSuff,
slow?
please come back
How
to
come
us.
I when
Thank
it
you
gets
for your
slow?
second appearance and your first elimination. Sarah, thank you for today. Frank, great
Welcome,
win.
JJ.
Young and
And
exciting
Plaschke,
Monica.
you also